homeschools versus sister schools. And when I came to the district, researching the district, since I've been in the district, maybe the most talked about thing. Parents, historically, and I've gone through this in a few districts as superintendent, that with teachers tend to want smaller grade bands together, and the reason makes sense. Because if the more third grades there are in my building, the more third grade teachers there are in my building, so the more people as a third grade teacher I have to lean on to get better. So it's good for me. As parents tend to like the broader grade bands. I've got 2 or 3 kids, they all go to the same schools. They can walk each other to school. I know the teachers, so it's easier for parents. When we surveyed our staff and our parents, our community members, our parents, 3-to-1 said we want to go back to homeschools. When we surveyed our teachers, they said 2-to-1, we want to go back to homeschools. Which is impressive because there's also research out there, a bunch of it, that says transitions are bad for kids academically. So even if it's by design, when you end 2nd grade and you have to go to a new school for 3rd grade, that's traumatic for a kid and has a negative impact on learning. So these are things we have to consider. But I knew this coming in because I did my homework. So just like we have for a lot of things, I talked to our business manager and our transportation director, and I said, okay, don't tell anybody, but we're gonna do some research, and if I get the information we just got, we need to be ready to go back to neighborhood schools in some way that's respectful to everybody. Teachers, parents, everybody knows well ahead of time what's going on for next year. As I learn more, there's more to the neighborhood school concept. For example, if we tweak our enrollment boundaries from what they used to be, because our kids don't live where they used to live. So we need to be more efficient and more responsible to our taxpayers. We need to tweak those boundaries a little bit. By tweaking them a little bit, we can close at least 2 schools. All right, now the question is, which 2? Right? We also know that transitions are bad, and we look at the data of our freshman program. Right now we have freshmen by themselves. They transition from their middle school to a separate building, and then the next year they go somewhere else. So it's 2 transitions. So we know again, statistically that's bad. So, but we also don't, so what do we do with those freshmen? Do we go K-6 and not close those elementary schools and have our middle schools be 7-9? Is there enough space at McKinley to put 9 through 12 and be more traditional? Or another theory is if we go back, because we lost our way, if we go back to the model that we implemented and the philosophy at the 9th grade level, it'll be good again. Okay, long story short, there are a whole lot of answers I don't have. So there's a couple ways to go about this. We can make some decisions next year and blow it up and rearrange everybody, and then get the answers and then blow it up again the following year. But we know those transitions are traumatic for kids and adults, so we don't want to blow it up twice. Flip side is, I don't have a recommendation yet, and I think there's honor and process to determine the right way to do things. If we need to close schools, which ones? If we're going to change some enrollment boundaries, how do we do it? What do we do with our middle schools? Do we really have 3 academies? So a whole lot of questions we have to answer, and the right way to do it, in my mind, is to take our time. Get the right people at the table, a lot of folks in this room, and we listen. We process, we look at research, we engage the right people, and we come out of this with one decision that makes sense that we roll out at one time. So that's exactly where I'm at with homeschools. It's more complicated than I originally gave it credit for. So to make some tweaks for next year and some changes, maybe. But to blow it up twice is something I prefer not to do.